The Princess Diana anime, not something that most people know really exists, but it does have a pretty good story behind it, so let's go ahead and talk about it. It was the 1980s. Pretty good time to be into anime. All sorts of anime things were happening. 1985 gave us Princess Sarah. The year after that, we had the Mario anime with Princess Toadstool. However, in May of 1986, a real-life princess was about to visit Japan, and a sort of Diana mania had been building as her royal visit approached. Excitement was high, and upon her arrival, over 92,000 people went out to meet her. While she was there, she attended sumo matches, dined with important figures, and even had a little bit of the local tea. It was all very fancy and elegant, and covered on pretty much every news station imaginable. Did you want to learn more about her before she arrived? Well, there were also a dozen magazines where you could learn everything there was to know. Local newspapers were said to offer a Cinderella test to readers who wanted to become princesses themselves, and there was even a number that you would call to learn Diana trivia to impress your friends. The bulk of her visit was mostly spent waving to passers-by, soaking in the culture and just generally meeting with the locals, which surprised quite a few people when she showed up at a department store. The whole thing lasted about a week, and you can probably find more information about it on another channel. I talk about anime here. You probably already knew that. So what does this have to do with anime? Well, as part of this Diana mania, there was a TV special, and part of that special was, of course, an anime about Diana's early days at boarding school. If you've never heard about any of this, don't worry about it. Most people don't even know this exists, anime fans included. And really thinking of it as an anime is kind of misleading. This is more of a cultural exchange. Somebody was coming over to say hello from another country, and there's nothing that says thank you for dropping by like an anime with your name on it. It covers her early life as a 9-year-old, just doing perfectly normal non-anime things. She does the daily chores, she plays with some very cute animals, and she makes friends as most kids do. One of the center points of the story is her love of animals, and her guinea pig did come with her to school, so they have this whole scene where she wins a pet contest, and that's about as anime as it gets. It's all very down to earth and pretty much what you would expect. There's also this odd thing that she does every couple of scenes where she bites her thumb, and I'm not really sure if this is something that she was known for as a child, but they make a pretty big deal about it. You can even see it briefly in the design documents at the beginning of the show when they're showing off all the people that made it. A team of around 50 artists put it all together, and in the face of being the only anime about Diana, it's never been re-released in any form. As far as I can tell, this only aired a single time. There's no commercials, there's no soundtrack, and there's no English version if you wanted to watch it today. The whole thing seems like it was created to be forgotten about a week later, and who even put it onto the internet is pretty much anyone's guess. It looks like it was uploaded online sometime in 2010, and its existence is so poorly documented that I don't really know what to say about it. Sumi Shimamoto voiced the main character, who was of course Nausicaa as well as a bunch of other anime princesses, and Diana herself was based off of childhood photos. The whole thing took about a month to make, and due to its relative obscurity and very short length, this is only 24 minutes long, you could probably watch it online without any trouble. In other words, this is not lost media. If you're trying to find out who made it, that's not going to give you any positive results though. I've asked around, and it was made by a company called Aobeck, who... yeah, I never heard of them either. They mostly existed as a supplemental B team for much larger animation studios, just generally helping with anime production, but they did make a few anime on their own that you may have heard of, like the English release of Capricorn on VHS in the 1990s. In general, it's a very positive depiction of Diana, even if it is a little bit on the short end, and if you look it up online, you'll notice that every single photo of it is all from this one TV recording. Had somebody not recorded this as it aired, it would have just been gone forever, so we're very lucky that this still exists. This wouldn't be the last time that Diana would show up in an anime, however. A few months later, she would cameo in the final Kinnikuman movie, where she was voiced by Hiromi Suru, who was of course Bulma from Dragon Ball Z. History doesn't really have much more to say about this anime, but if there is more info out there, it's probably in one of those magazines. According to the New York Times, no less than 11 publications covered her visit, and some of them even had some manga, so there may be some Lost Princess Diana manga out there as well, just waiting to be discovered. Now, I'm sure I could probably go over every single person that worked on this anime and artificially increase the length of the video, but in order to respect your time and mine, I'm reminded of what legendary golf player Craig the Walrus Stadler once said.
Just remember, you're never gonna make it leaving it short.
That's the end of the video.